and I spoke to my mom. The title of my live stream now is, you could go to that link and see other videos of as evidence that I published public internet, Wi-Fi, social media. A woman that was supposed to have been my mother friend, and instead, and as safety and privacy, my mom and I discussed it, and I'm not trying to ruin anything. It was already ruined. It was one of the worst birthdays my mom has ever had by from them. And as I want my mom to be happy, not sick, not injured, not wounded, physically, emotionally, and mentally. And what that woman showed and told about us, Bellis, is there and all elsewhere. So I was trying to figure it all out. And my mom was like, I don't want to go back there anymore. And I was like, well, we got to do something. And I decided that we're going to do some other activities. And my mom wanted to do other activities anyways. And we're trying to work out a schedule as to when and where. And maybe I'll do some video making, or maybe I'll just do some from home, like what I eat during a day as a wannabe fat person, myself exercising, maybe my having a coffee when I'm out or something to eat. Other than that, very limited because of safety and privacy. It happened before Mississauga Senior Citizen Center, Square One Older Adult Center, Square One Shopping Center, the Open Door Square One Older Adult Center. It has all happened before, and it's followed to the other place, and we don't want to follow anymore. We want it stopped. I've gone to the police. We've gone to police before, just because those other people kept doing it. And they tried confused my mom and I didn't get confused, and my mom did not get confused, and got new contact information that other person is not ever allowed to get. Not any narcissistic, abusive stalker should, can, could, may, must, and need our personal contact information, phones numbers, emails, addresses, etc. I left my mom crying in where she was because she didn't have a happy birthday. It was the worst birthday my mom ever had. My mom's exact words were the worst birthday she ever had. They didn't give her a birthday part. We didn't go out to dinner. They didn't show up for anything to wish my mom a happy birthday. It was supposed to be like in February, the gala. They didn't come to that. They didn't invite her to any meals. I did, and they didn't showed up. And the day of my mom's birthday, they didn't give any birthday cards, not any gifts. We didn't have any cakes, nothing any dinings, nothing was did. Just that other woman yelling at us, lying to us. Yet we have evidence. We showed and told everybody there, and she was disgusting. And about the other appointments, I don't know. I showed and told everyone everywhere we were that other person lied all about us, and that us Bellises were not guilty instead, in hopes that they will give us safety and privacy too, and try and stop her from harassing and bullying and all that other stuff all about us Bellises, because we didn't deserve it, and all the other times too. Nobody that's a supposed friend and or a friend of the family, me and my mom, would ever have lied and accused and alleged because of her hate and jealousy, violent, predatory, resentful, harassments, bullying, racism, bigotry, discriminations, prejudice, prejudges, internet trolling, narcissistic, abusive, stalking us. My mom and I didn't have lots of friends since my dad died, and that happens. I don't date, I'm single, I'm heterosexual. My mom is a widow. We had pets, fur babies alive. We have and had botany alive. I have my botany alive. And I do. Since February 18, 2026, I truly hope the Active Out Center goes out of business and never reopens again. Sided with that and told us, well, we could stay if we wanted to play. My mom wants to play bingo, but they didn't take her out of that chair and make her move away from us. They put our lives at risk all the more. It was me that had to take my mom to another table, that my mom didn't want any affiliation with them anymore. She was really hurt by what they said and did, emotionally. Now, I don't know what happened when I wasn't there. I don't know what happened to my mom more than that, physically. I just know mentally and emotionally, my mom has had the worst birthday ever. Betty sent an email to us, emails, wanted to phone us. Betty asked for my mom's new phone number. I asked for Betty's phone number. I gave that information to my mom. My mom phoned her 4 times. And ever since those 4 times, all those phone calls, all those emails from Betty lied that my mom didn't do that and it was the wrong number and it wasn't her. And she was home all day Saturday and all those other lies. And then the email where Betty mentioned that she didn't want to talk about it, she didn't want it discussed. My mom's birthday. And that's all she mentioned when she got there at Betty. She went on and on and on about it. But so 20 emails that she had, I have more than 5 emails, and we have phone calls and recordings of her yelling and screaming at us. And then she expects us to be friends. She kept trying to confuse my mother. That's not friendship. And did my father know that, Betty? My father would have told her to fuck off, get out, and don't you ever come back. And he or one of my uncles and or his cousins would have belted her one without a fucking care in the world. Actually, they probably have killed her. It was sent for the police, I tell you. She should have been in the nick a long time ago. Judiciary justice. That's what we Bellis says. All we wanted was judiciary punishments. To, all about all those narcissistic, abusive stalkers stalking us. All historical, all geographical, all financial, and all new. And all their sick lies and all their sick confusions that they try to spread, themselves neurologically impaired and or mentally ill, instead of us Bellises. Oh, they can go to the center and not worry about ever having to see us there, hear us there, and go to that mall. All that mall. It's all theirs. Let them fuck around there for all that you want to. I don't care to ever see and hear from them again. Luncheons, bingo. I'll return the book club book. I could go to another book club. It's not my favorite. It's not my worst. Maybe, maybe not. Because they know my schedule. They come after her again and me. What are they going to do more? Try to isolate us from each other. Show and tell her more internet, social media. That's not normal. That's not lawful. That's not legal. That's not sane. That's not competent. That's not employable themselves instead of us. My mother, all historical, all geographical, all financial, all happened. My father worked. I don't know how long he worked for. I don't even remember how old he was. I was only around 15 and a half years old when it happened. I'm 57 years old now. And when people used to show up with me having short hair, bald hair, and that I had short, bald, it was my hairs were to my scalp. I had scabs. That was their versions of me. That wasn't real. And they used some filtering off and on the internet, and they tried to go back and forth with it, tried to delusioned us, and tried to make us obsessed, compulsive, all about, all to, and all about them. Instead, it's the other way around. I never looked like that. I've always had thick heads of thick head of hair, whether it was short and long, but it was never to my scalp like that, and I never had sores like that. I did have something on the side of my head recently, like a zit, but that was nothing. I never had scabs and bald patches or anything like that. They were liars. That maybe was somebody else that was stalking my mom, my parents, while I was elsewhere, such as school and stuff. Tried to confuse my parents, but it wasn't me. When I was around and when I was with my mom and dad, I used to have lots of long hair. It was, sometimes it was so much. I used to try and have it shoulder length. And I used to get stuff put in my hairs to make it curly. Rollers, ringlets. My hairs just hang. And they hang more over the years. They just hang. I don't do anything fancy. Just a fringe bangs. And once a year I did ringlets. I knew something was coming up about it all because they wouldn't showed up to us. They didn't show up at the tea retro tea thing. They canceled. Uh, they showed up for the deck of halls. After that, they didn't show up to the gala. They didn't celebrate my mom's birthday. And it doesn't matter. They just kept showing up and showing up and showing up. It doesn't matter their emails. I mean, were they true friends of my mom and I? And about my father, they wouldn't have did that to hurt her. They know they knew of her. They know she was in a fragile state, and they contributed to it and tried lied it was me, and they tried to blame my health, physically, emotionally, and mental. Yet it was all fabricated by a bunch of narcissistic, abusive stalkers. I am not my mother mandatory caregiver, although I am one. I cannot do everything for her, although I do the best I can. And sometimes we have had staff come and help. I am not a trained professional employed these days that works with the disabled and has special needs since. And I have to go get my mom some food, and then I have to make some dinner. And if they are on my social media and they don't like it, they shouldn't have did it. My mom had lots of fun over the years, but all those socials, I hope that's the last they hurt her. Physically, emotionally, and mentally. She didn't deserve it. And they have documented proof that they lied. And if they changed their mental health into try to lied and lied and lied to make my mom worse, and tried to put my mom in a nursing home and hospitalized my mom, mental health, and confused her, tried to make her forgot me and my father and other people, for what? All historical, all geographical, all financial, and anything new? Right? All historical, all geographical, all financial. It's none of their business. None of their business. They shouldn't have did it. There's police reports, occurrence incidents, as well as went to police. And the police that came, they know, they saw evidence. off and on and off the internet. It wasn't us, Bellis. And there's security cameras all on. Are they afraid of us? They're in apartments. They have security cameras all on. And witnesses. Anybody and everybody that shows and tells that and the truth, it wasn't us. Instead, it's them. And they should not, cannot, could not, may not, must not, and need not come to where we lived and lives and seek personal information about us residential. Where we live, exactly, all historical, all geographical, all financial. That is absolutely none of their business, and all my former employers too, and all co-workers. It's none of their business. I knew who those other people were the whole time, and my mom has found out all the more. As I said, we got new phone numbers, and they could have understood long ago that crank calling us is not allowed. Nuisance phone calls is not allowed, and then trying to isolate us from each other is not allowed all the more. My mom doesn't have family other than me. My mom a widow. And pets and fur babies and botany. They're nothing to her anymore. People have preyed upon her for years, and that Dr. Fernando Craig Valley Hospital tried to show and told us it was all our faults and that we have to take the pills. We don't have to take those pills because of those other people. It's all real. And I've asked for a second and third and fourth opinions and CAT scans and MRIs. There's photos. Just because there's not all the documents we were robbed of, all those truths, wages, etc. The Active Adult Center, Mississauga, and Central Parkway Mall. One and more other tried to delusioned, uh, instead it's themselves delusional, deluded. 1984, my mom went through a whole hell of a lot with my dad and I, and pets, fur babies, and botany. And we didn't have many friends and others. My mom was convinced that some people were alive and they were not. They died before my dad, before my father did, and some other pets and some other botany died dead. Because themselves not lawful, not legal, not sane, not competent, not employable, and should, can, could, may, must, and need keep away from us. And do they get volatile and violent to me again? I will use self defense next time, and I don't care how old they are. They touch me, I go to the police, and if they don't get off me and they hurt my mom, I will smack. And it won't be just a slight smack. This self defense instructor got from me as part of the program, the class. It'll be worse. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I don't care how old she is. I really truly don't, but you don't get violent to me and my mom like that. And have me slam my cell phone down on the table. Tell me to get your ugly fucking face out of my way. She was there to sit, have a social. It was a cafe, and behave herself. Be lawful, legal, sane, competent, and a membership, and do everything that membership is. She did not, and she should have been gone, and have not any contact information, and not any more contact there, and all elsewhere, all about, all to, and all about us Bellises. Fucking real. I do have a PayPal account. Later I'll put the link on my community post page. Thank you.
You emptied the wash machine?
No, I haven't done it yet. Obviously. I need a fork. Now I'll get my roasted chicken noodle soup. Other people accused us and then woke up with the other people accused us and then they were showed and told, hopefully videos, recordings, photos of themselves did all about us Bellises instead. That us Bellises were not guilty and we did not lie. Hope that happens to that narcissistic, abusive stalker Betty Bradley too. Are you online now, Betty Bradley, and or one of your alleged connections? My live stream. I hope you go to jail. Internet trolling us, stalking us, harassing and bullying us, and lying. Lied. We don't want to know you. Keep away from us, please. You've made every effort not wanting us. That all should, can, could, may, must, and need, show and tell, showed and told, and shows and tells, react and reacted, and reacts. All about, all to, all about, it did. You showed and told, and all other times. I don't owe you anything, all historical, all geographical, and any and all financial, and any and all new. We don't owe you anything. Just goodbye. You're not a nice person, you're just a liar. Nobody should, can, could, may, must, and need, gave you, gives you any personal information. Only published. Anything else? Hope you get judiciary punished a very long time in prisons. 100 or more. You never get out. And don't ever get to do it again. Especially, did you know my father? If you knew my father. And all your accomplices too. All about, all to, all about. All names, all and all named Bellis that you met and knew. And narcissistic, abusive, stalking. Can't phone us today. Too bad. It's your fault, not ours. Don't want to know about it anymore. My mom just deserves better and greater than you. All before, all during, all later, and all since December 24, 2018. All before, all during, all later, and all since February 18, 2026. It wasn't me that did it to my mom, it was somebody else. It wasn't all animals and all botany, all pets, all fur babies. It was somebody else. The link is there and all the other videos, including my meeting with Active Adult Center, Mississauga Linda Saub, who sided with her, would give us safety and privacy while there. Cafe, bingo. They come here, I'll phone call security, and I'll phone call police. It doesn't matter how old they are. Boundaries, safety and privacy, all urban, residential, and all elsewhere. All should, can, could, may, must, and need. Excuse me gave all about all to and all about us Bellises. All names, all named Bellis. Ouch. And oh, there's a leak. And we should Ken could make must need and deserves better. 1302 and all elsewhere. And here and instead of narcissistic abusive stalkers. All about all to and all about us. Three centers, etc. Do those centers close with and or without those two malls because of themselves mismanaged funds and elder abuse and pedophilia and child abuse and animal cruelties and botanies? All about all to and all about us Bellises. All names, all named Bellis, all historical, all geographical, all financial, and any and all new. And all the other victims. I'm sure there's more than just one family. And one ex-coworker, members, etc. I did not email them since that conversation with my mom. I asked for the virtual link once more. Mall walkers, they did not provide it. All before, all during, all later, all since my meeting with Active Adult Center of Mississauga, Linda Saub, alleged executive director, or whatever her job position was there. And all police should, can, could, may, must, and need show and tell, showed and told, and shows and tells, and react, reacted, and reacts. All about, all to, all about us Bellises, occurrence and incidents and report numbers everywhere, including all about, all to, and all about all courts. All to, at, on, in, out, from, and by all courts. Here too. All before, all during, all later, all since November 12 and 13, 2024. All before, all during, all later, all since May 15, 2010. I'm surprised I've made it this many years. Anybody else would have killed themselves. And or tried. I miss my cat. All those hours and its seconds, days, weeks, months, and years lost. Because of all those other people, narcissistic, abusive stalkers. All that bothered me too. At least I have one survivor. My mom. And another survivor. My botany, and of course me. second food's 8 today. Since I ate some nuts. All I want is a nice little cozy nook I call my home. You can't have a cottage. I cannot have a cottage. Although I should can cook maintenance and need brought home and bring home some of that more of that core cottage based stuff. I get to enjoy my life. My mom too, my family. And all you other narcissistic abusive stalkers go away, hopefully judiciary punished prisons. See how you like living urban, rural, residential there. Off and on and off my internet. Social media. That's good. Did I just see carrots in my soup? Gonna have to eat more carrots today. Just have a piece of celery and cucumber. Those two spouses were not guilty. Why go there where they're not going to give us safety and privacy? They followed us residential and all elsewhere. Those spouses have been doing real estate for more than 40 years now. My dad did his fair share, as my father. His fair share when alive, 1980s and earlier. Times have changed, I suppose. Not for any better and greater. This alleged city and elsewhere. Earlier too. All during, all later, and since. I just wanted to have a pet family so I can enjoy my semi-retirement. I didn't really want to go back there very often. My mom just wanted to play bingo and I wanted to keep my mom company. As her MSP, I had no choice really. Well, there, since I worked there, I decided to take some courses or programs. And do some socials, and that didn't last long. My birthday, we got together around twice in December, and then it got less and less because I wasn't feeling well physically. And my mom had headaches, and they didn't comprehend it. They were like, oh, we should, can, could, may, must, and need, show and tell, and do as we want. We could do anything because of them. And I was asked, no, you can't. I mean, we didn't have to reach out to them and show and tell them everything. Lots of other people aren't always there all the time. And I'm sure they didn't have to contact the centers and or us and or them all the time they were absent. And did any members not return there? We should not, cannot, could not, may not, must not, need not any different than that. I didn't have to. My mom didn't have to explain her absences. Even and the doctors too that were our healthcare team professionals They questioned why we always had to explain to ourselves absences, doctor's notes, health certificates. It's none of their business. All those members, all those employees, all of those staff, all those employers, all other people. It's not. Not really. I mean, sure, I do my social media to have some fun and some monetization and my socials. And sometimes I have met some other people off of it in person that were not narcissistic, abusive stalkers. They were cordial. Is that the word cordial? They were polite and kind. And lawful, legal. I really liked going to Niagara Falls. I like Niagara Falls lots. And when I was younger, I actually kept looking through real estate trying to figure out how to buy an estate there because it would have been really cute and cozy. It was urban residential, although it had that country cottage feel to it. And there were places like community centers or whatever around libraries. Whereas I was looking elsewhere too, an island not far from here that I believed had some residential estates available. Instead, we settled in this neighborhood somewhat. And healthcare, I know Niagara Falls healthcare wouldn't have been awful, very. Although the other one, I don't know the healthcare there very. And when we were there, my mom probably would have been less disabled. When we lived on Maple Branch Path, my mom couldn't do the stairs very anymore. And we wanted somewhere that allowed pets without harassment and bullying. When I look back on things, we really should have, instead of bought 3635 Fieldgate Drive, we should have went straight to a townhouse that had less stairs. Because if we didn't have a finished basement, it didn't matter. We didn't have to go down there very. I could have did the laundry. It would just have been getting my mom up and downstairs. It's just the townhouse in Maple Branch Path had stairs that went upstairs and to the front door and then downstairs to the basement. And that was just too many stairs for my mom eventually. And we couldn't get a bungalow at the time. And we ended up with a back split. Again, lots of stairs. The gardening was had lots of prospect. And then we tried to move to an apartment on Bow Beaches Boulevard, but they wouldn't allowed as many pets as we had then. And so we moved to 4111 Arbor Green Drive. And again, stairs got too much. And we got another sort of back split, but it didn't have as many stairs. And I tried did the laundry. Again, it was getting my mom up and down the stairs. And my mom got to the point where she couldn't get up and down the stairs, and I had to get railings in that house outside the front door so that she had somewhere to go up and down because she was with a cane then. And there was no entry through the garage into my house there then. And I had had less pets, but we had one cat. We had the, and we moved into a condo there, Blue Beaches Boulevard. It didn't last long. Again, narcissistic, abusive stalkers. All before, all during, all later, all since March 5th, not March, May 15, 2010. And we've been moving around trying to get, so we wanted downsized. We wanted somewhere where they had lots of security, lots of safety, lots of privacy. I used to go to libraries lots. I used to exercise, walk fit outside lots. I used to read lots. My recovery process since I had my accident. The first 4 years were difficult, and all those narcissistic, abusive stalkers just pounced on us. And thankfully to the internet, the social media, I was able to find stuff that I that helps me my cognitive skills. I'm employable. I'm legal, lawful, sane, competent, and just gets me off my ass. I can walk more. I can exercise more, and I'm helping my mom cope too, as best as I can. I expected retirement to be more happy, safety, privacy, well, than it is. I'm sure my mom didn't expect to spend her senior years disabled and dysfunctional. I just don't know what to do. All those narcissistic, abusive stalkers isolated us from each other and themselves and others. And I don't think that's lawful. And I don't believe that's lawful. And I don't think and I don't believe it's lawful, legal, sane, competent, employable that they should, can, could, may, must, and need, did, does. And my friends, yes, I had friends when I was younger. Most of them are either all married, uh, parenting, and are homosexual. They've moved on. And since this accident happened to me, I was often shutting the doors in their faces. I didn't socialize very for the first 10 years. I didn't want to know anybody very. I just went to places where I thought there was safety and prosperity and privacy, and that would get better. I could maybe do some work and monetization via the internet. Nothing. Nah. Hi. Hi, are you okay? Do you need help or SOS? If you need help, say, send some money. Hi. How old are you? Hi. Hi from Heidelberg, Germany. Hello, Germany. Hi, Queen, you beautiful. Other people. Hi, Sugar. This is paradise. Hello from Australia. Hello, Australia. Cheer up. Life goes on and things can only get better. What's going on with your sister? I don't have a sister. Hello. Did you just burp? Ew. There's a cockroach in your noodles. Oh, was there? Hi. Why are you naked? Grab a blanket or something. I'm not naked. Your nails are ugly. You can speak in French a little bit. Emojis. And the 10th. Hello. I'm nasty. Where are you from? Look at the chat. Hi. Do you have a friend? I didn't see any cockroaches. I have been farting next to my dog so that if he ever gets lost, he'll be able to find his way back home. Hi. You are very attractive. Thank you. Hello, everyone in my chat. Hey. Hey, single. I didn't see anything in my noodles. I thought it was just noodle soup. Are you from UK? The UK. I get that question a lot. I did walk fit earlier today, 1 to 1.2 kilometers, maybe around 900 steps. I always used to fantasize when my family stuff changed over the years and I couldn't have a cottage in Canada. I was looking elsewhere around the world too. I mean, it would be middle class, nothing. It didn't matter how much money we had, it, more and or same. I was always looking for like a little nook in the UK, a cottage, a bungalow. I thought it would have been really cute to have moved there for a while. Not always, but had a little nook. Because somebody mentioned friends. Would have been fun to maybe have spent 5 or 6 months there and then some time in Canada. That never happened, unfortunately. But a good, some people, Florida, I'm like, Scotland and or England. Never happened. Sometimes I watch videos and I just look at all the green space. And of course, go look at public transit. Transit was an issue too, unfortunately, for us. Eventually, the real yearbooks and school photos of me and other students, my peers, and teachers should, can, could, may, must, and need more public and published. Public. I hope so. The truth should come out sooner rather than later, and I hope this while my mom is alive and can see and hear it all the more be it social media, virtuals, and or mainstream media, such as news, maybe I don't know what news channels there are now. There's always the Google stuff. It would make my life so much happier. I know I was never a beautiful person. I never expected to be the sexiest woman alive, the best looking ever. I've always had sort of a country cottage appeal look. Tank tops, shorts, tops, more revealing this swimsuits, bikinis, and other ones with the middle missing. I showed lots of skin. I liked looking back on it, those mornings Didn't have school, didn't have to do anything. Just could get up, go for a walk, go for a swim, do some cooking and cleaning. It was wonderful. Could walk out the front, could leave your front door, back doors open, not locked. Not have to worry about security, safety, and privacy. I mean, there was, I mean, other passerbys on the lake could seen us outside. And if they were really, really looking through binoculars inside, that was just one of them. I don't remember the other one very. I was a lot younger. It was really. I wonder who has it now, if it's even still there. It's a beautiful, like, sort of log cabin. Were I to have a driver, I would have liked to have really, really winterized it and kept it there, you know. I was healthier. I wouldn't be doing any of this social media. I would never have been at the centers. I would have retired. I mean, during that was just unfortunate. That's why I said I've shown some of. I like living where there's a creek, a river. I remember the Humber River. I'm not sure if that's the credit, whatever it is. And it just makes me feel a little bit better when there was security, safety, and privacy. And I like when we celebrated our birthdays, we went out and did our socials. I didn't like having them come over here and where we lived before. That's why when we lived apartments, dwellings, there was always a party room, almost always, and that was, um, I didn't do any parties like that. It was just like maybe uh, 5 or 6 other people. And when I finally got to help my mom more, because the more time my mom spent with them, my mom's health slowly deteriorated, and my mom got more disabled. My health hasn't been the best too. It got a little bit less, but I'm pulling it back up. Well, thank you for all your comments in my chat. What's your channel about? Lips emojis, thank you. Oh yeah, yay, Granny. Hello, dear. You subscribe too. Grab the camera. LOFIL Rivera BA354-Y2S Bula W6B3J Hematological. Hello, everyone in my chat. I can be back soon. I'm going to get myself a hot coffee and my mom some soup and decide what dinner's going to be. I have no clue. They opened up the Active Adult Center of Mississauga, higher class status, decor, programs, dinings, compared to what it was the Square One older adult center. And most everybody there, unlike us Bellises, themselves couldn't adapted to the changes. It's like price increases, the etiquette increases, um, the publicity increases, body positivity and natural aesthetic increased. Nobody wanted the open door, however. That was one of the best things that ever happened. Although instead of behaving like middle class citizens there, residents, Canadians, and their guests, it was often going there as though the most mental health, mentally ill, open door, Square One Older Adult Center, Square One Shopping Center. It was really, really weird. And all names, all who, what, where, when, why, how. Those three centers, not only there, but started to spread out elsewhere, urban, residential, malls. The only thing I never liked about the Active Out Center, Mississauga, is that one bathroom, and that we had to use the public washrooms, the mall washrooms outside there. Other than that, I liked the center. It was really cozy, cute, had prospects. There's supposed to be a fair that's going on later this month. I won't be attending that too. I'm gonna miss. I was really looking forward to seeing, hearing, finding out if the masseuses were there. They were doing massages this year. I could have really did with a massage. Let's see more of you. I will. I'll be right back. I'm getting my mom her soup, and then I'm gonna get her some salad, and then I am gonna maybe make some potatoes. Of course, it's me potatoes, and yeah, and then I'll come back and I'll have my coffee. And I haven't had my yogurt yet, and I'm gonna have my yogurt with my coffee and or tea. I'm craving an English breakfast tea today, and yeah, I'll be right back. eventually, I hope, in my lifetime, I'll my employers. What happened?
I lifted it and then I shook my head. Oh, it went down my leg.
Do you want some paper towels?
Yeah. I'll just walk out with you.
In my lifetime, I hope all my parents and my parents' parents and my parents' parents' parents. I'll say it again in a minute. I don't know. All my parents, my parents' parents, my parents' parents' parents, and my parents' 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 parents, and all animals and all belong to me, and all pets and fur babies and myself, all names, all names, Bellis, including me, of course, Avril, Bellis, all historical, geographical, all financial, all educations, all employments, all hobbies, all historical, and all geographical, all financial, companion, all new, all media, all published, all public, all should, can, could, may, must, and need, show and tell, shows and told, and shows and tells, and all reacted and reacts, all about, all to, all about, all have, guess. Instead of Mississauga Senior Citizen Center on Poplar Road, instead of Railroad Over Adult Center and Square One Open Door, in there, Square One Older Adult Center, Square One Shopping Center, Square One Older Adult Center, Square One Shopping Center, the open door in there, instead of Active Adult Center, Saga. Instead of those three centers, in the open door. And I'm not only talking about before 1985, and I'm talking about all other people's delusions they had, all about them and me, all names, all named Bellis. I'll be talking about it during this. I got comments in the chat area until I get my coffee. I don't get a throw blanket on me. Or at least my robe. You alright? What? You finished your soup? I'm making myself a coffee. Do you want one? Yeah. Maybe after you have your coffee, you can help me with tidying up a little bit.
Try to tidy out my stuff.
You could hold the garbage bags open
Oh,
like that.
no.
That's all. I'm feeling a bit better today. Maybe it was all the good food I had yesterday. That was funny.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Make your coffee first.
Okay.
And then I have to find.
Oh, God, that's cold. Sugar.
You at the living room and I'm in the kitchen. I'm not even near you.
Didn't say that. I said it was cold.
And I'm just saying to my audience before I turn it off because you're in with me. I'm gonna turn it off. I have to make a phone call. Just let them know we're not even in the same room.
them magnifying glasses I've lost.
You had it with you yesterday.
I know.
Did you look in the bag?
Yeah. Looked everywhere. Can't find it. That's why I was doing my bed in case I knocked it over. I don't know. I can't find it.
I don't remember you leaving it on the table there.
No, well, it would still be on the table if I left it there. I don't know. I mean, it's not as if it's a little thing. It's not like the little one. That one's big enough. They're big enough to
I
last.
know, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, that's two I've lost in here.
It's like underwear and socks and stuff. I don't know where it all goes. And we were here. I was with you when you had it. I don't even see it.
No, I don't. I've looked everywhere.
Hello again, beautiful. Like your life. Like the life for you. How are you doing today? I would love to see you again, beautiful. The chat. Do you want to say hello to my audience before I turn it off?
Hello, everyone. I'm April's mother.
Hello.
Hello. Did I sound good?
Very good, Mom. I didn't even provoke you. You did that all by yourself.